David Bouchard. I'm the Enrichment Teacher here at Jericho Elementary School.
When you see that, you X out, because it's going to happen a lot.
So go ahead. Thank you. Last year, at the end of the school year, Ms. Graff and I had talked a lot about coming up with a new initiative, and we came to what we keep hearing, the STEM or the STEAM work, and we thought, this is new, and it's not officially in the curriculum. It's not officially something that we're asking kids to learn about, but it seems right. It's definitely part of their world, and to be innovative, you kind of have to go for some of these things sometimes. So Vicki having the vision and myself kind of doing a lot of research on the same thing, we said, yeah, let's go for this. And within my research, a lot of what I found out was a lot of the STEM programs and STEAM programs, it's really hard to decide where to start because of the way your school is already set up, what things are already in place, where do you start, but they all say, just start. Go for something. It's better than doing nothing at all. Over here it's going to say open. I was able to latch on to a few things that were key for each grade level that seemed like it would fit in. It didn't directly attach to everybody's curriculum, but I felt good about knowing that part of it was teaching a way of thinking more than teaching a content area. So for example, the second graders, we did toy hacking. So yeah, it's fun to take a toy apart. Okay, but think about a circuit board. Think about where it fits in life. Think about the flow of electricity through a circuit board. Think about an iPhone. Does that have a circuit board? Now think, I don't have to be the end user anymore. I don't have to be just the person that gets the iPhone and has no idea how the technology works. Now I start thinking, oh, I know there's electricity moving around inside. I know that electricity is getting delivered to the microphone, to the camera, to the processing unit. I'm starting to think, hey, maybe I could get into a toy, or maybe I could tell the electricity what to do at some point when it's appropriate in my education. I'm starting to see how things work. I'm starting to be curious about that. And the kids even reshape the toys. They get to kind of have them do different things. They get to redecorate them. So now when you start talking about STEAM, STEM with the A in it, the arts, now they're repurposing the toy. They're decorating it. They're adding a little something to it. They're making it their own. And they're feeling really good. Now it's, hey, I made a toy. And I know how it worked. So hopefully they go back to class and they say, I didn't really understand how this math problem worked, but I know if I look at it differently and I take it apart a little bit, I know in the end maybe I'll be successful to solve it my own way. Maybe I can make it my own way. Again, it's a way of thinking is the way I see it sometimes. There's the thinking, and then there's the physical thing you're doing.
Instead of an old-fashioned forklift, we are now going to be... I'm hoping this will work, and instead of what we were doing originally, we're now, keep everything but the we are now going to be making a claw instead, so hopefully it'll work better. My hopes are high, his hopes better be high, or else that's not good. It didn't go hard enough. Actually, let's try 0.3.
Putting it in the wrong point out there and then turning right here and then I'm trying to take the sensors off, okay?
Let's see how you guys
Perfect! No. It has to go around the bridge. Wow. So it has to go that way.
Like 0.4.
They know how to get the robot to move. Well, now they're at the part that I really like when they get stumped at how to pick that rock up, how to pick that thing up. And, they have the original claw that comes with it, the original up and down thing, but that doesn't work so well. There's a real life problem there. It's not exact. So how can we get around that? And I keep seeing kids hit the wall. It won't work. It can't get it to, well, why don't we say, I can't do that yet. This way. I'm going to go talk to that other group about it, you know? Have it not be so competitive. Have it be like, let's work together. Let's solve this problem. Let's think about how in the real world this might happen. How does this happen when the Hubble Space Scope can't get that new lens in because there was something they forgot about back on Earth with the engineers? You know, those astronauts had to think at that moment, how are we going to solve this problem? They didn't say, oh, hey, we didn't know this handle was here. Let's go send back to Earth. Let's pack it up. You know, they thought.
Make for a great story.
You know.
So where do you see? You talked a little bit about where you are now, and you're thinking about your instruction and your programming. Where do you see it going, like next year and beyond?
There's a couple areas where I see it going. I really would like to tie it tightly to the next generation science standards.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of room now with the engineering component.
Mm-hmm.
So with the right type of, you know, getting that thinking component in and having a good content base for what kids really need to be doing with engineering, I see this space. I don't quite call it a maker space. We kind of wanted it to be a maker space when we started. I'm seeing it more as a STEAM or a STEM space where we have a lot of the tools here that teachers might want to have their kids using, and I'm here helping them to use those tools to go about going through the engineering design process or sometimes the scientific process. I'd also like to take a leap, and this is my vision. I really want it to be for the good of like something that really helps out humanity. I mean, I don't mean to make it sound so big, but I mean there are ways. There's room in the what you need to do to find different vehicles, and I'd love solar, wind, garden, things that are real issues in our nation and for scientists now that we see happening on our Earth. That, you know, I don't want it to be my philosophy on what needs to change, but these are real things that are happening in our world, and students need to be ready for that, to say, hey, you know, how can we make the better battery like Tesla just did? How can we improve wind power? How can we make solar, you know, something that's more sustainable for everybody? We already have a garden. What's going on in the garden? Like where are we getting our water? You know, droughts are a problem out west right now. And the climate's changing, according to some people. Like, how can we conserve water in our own garden? Where can we get water for our garden? You know, what can we do differently with our soil? These are things that we could look at and work on right here in school. I happen to have the space, and we have, you know, allotted the resources to have a space to make that happen. You know, I can't get them to leave when they come in here.
I saw that.
Yeah, they really, they have this problem, and they get involved with it because they are so hyper-focused on the goal and the task that the smaller things just kind of get pushed aside to get to the goal or the task. So I see a lot of authentic engagement and drive when they have that problem to solve. Next year, really get involved, really have someone come as this third grade cell tower challenge evolves, or maybe even a dam challenge with erosion or something, and get those people in. That would be my next step, goal, to connect to the outside world with some of these challenges and things, especially like with the robotics. We may pretend that's Mars, and they've got to get the rock off Mars and get it back to the home base to get back. Like, let's get somebody in here, let's Skype with somebody, let's connect to people who are working on the Mars rover.